Hello, this is the Cobra MX460S40VX mower, which is an 18-inch battery-powered rotary mower. Makes a great job of mowing the lawn, and this is how it arrives with you in this large cardboard box. So what we're going to do is unwrap it, take everything out, get it on the table, and I'll show you just how easy and fast it is to put together. So here we have it all laid out on the table. It's quite a big mower, this one is, but there's everything here you need to assemble it and get it ready for mowing. So first thing is we've got the owner's manual there. That tells you everything you need to know about putting it together, although we're going to show you that now, but also the maintenance and the aftercare. So keep that in a safe place. We've got a couple of cable clips there, which will go when we do the handlebar assembly. And then we've got the all-important battery charger there for our 40 volt Max Plus battery, and we'll come back to that in just a second. Then we've got the mower unit itself, so we do have to just assemble the handlebar as the construction there, so we're going to show you exactly how to do that. And then here we've got the grass collection box that just needs a very little bit of assembly, including putting on the carry handle, and there's also this is the side chute which goes on the mower for one of the ways that we can cut the grass. First thing is we're going to get the batteries on charge. So if we take them out the packaging, so here we have the battery, and again there are instructions with that, and in here we have the charger. Now when the battery arrives with you, it will always have a little bit of charge in it, and we can tell the charge by pushing the button there, and we'll get some lights there. So we've got 3 lights on there, so it's got a bit of charge in it, but we want to fully charge it. So the charger is there, we're going to take it inside, but essentially the battery just slides in and clicks into position. We'll plug that in, and when we get a solid green light, that will tell us that that battery is fully charged. And then to take it off, we just push the red button there, and that will slide off. So that's the first thing we're going to do, is get that onto charge. Now we've got the battery charging, we can start to put the mower together, and we're going to start with the grass collection box here. Just needs a little bit of work to get it up and running. First thing, we don't need that at this stage. I'll show you that when we actually get the mower on the lawn and start to do some mowing with it. We need to just attach the bag to this framework here. It's really simple there. This rubber just folds round and clips into position, so we just curl it round. Just put a bit of tension on it, give it a pull, and away we go. So we just need to work our way around there. It does help if these are slightly warm as well. So we're doing it outside, and it's just warmed them up a little bit, makes them a little bit softer to get them into position. Okay, so that is that all done, so that isn't going to go anywhere. And then you'll also notice there's a small screw provided. It's in the bag with the manual, so we keep that bag there, and we've got the handle here. Now what you do need for this is a small screwdriver, little crosshead one. If you've got a little short one like that, it's ideal, but you can get a bigger one in there because it's a big bag, and that will only go on one way. So it's essentially, we've got a hole there and a little tab that goes in, and levers, and then we've got a hole there, and a screw is going to go from the inside up through and into that. So just put a bit of pressure onto there like that, and then we can just get the screw into place and just start it. You can start it by fingers just to get the first little bit of thread, and then it's just a case of tighten that all the way. So we need that to be really tight, and that is it. That isn't going to go anywhere. It's clipped on, and the handle is nice and secure. So we can pop that down there. And then the next thing we need to do is just assemble the handlebar. So I'm just going to pull that this way a little bit so we can see it. So very little to do. We're essentially attaching this top part of the handlebar to this part here. And for transit, it's already got these levers and bolts in. So what we need to do is just take those off and keep all the components together. So we've got to do this on both sides, so that just twists off like that. So we've got that, there's a washer, and then that will pull out like that, and there's also a sleeve in there as well, and this one has this little bracket on there which will hold the cable. So that is all going together at that side, and then I've got to take this one off as well. So we've taken it off. So what we've got to do is assemble it. It's slightly different. So essentially what we're doing is that is going to go on the outside like that. But what we need to do first is we've got this little sleeve that goes in like that, and it will line up with the hole. Just get the hole lined up, and we've got to twist it because it's got a bit of a curve on it, so it fits nice and snugly like that. So the sleeve's in position. That is going to go on the outside of this steel one, and then we've got our bolt there with the little cable clip on, and then what we're going to do is that's going to go through the hole, through the sleeve and out the other side, and we've got to locate it and get that into position like that, so it fits around like that. So that's nice and tight. That can't turn because the curve follows the curve of the tube there. And then we can put on our washer, the flat washer, and then we can start to put this on like that. So just put it on a few turns to start with, just to hold everything in place. So then we repeat this side. So we've got the little sleeve that goes in to there. Just twist it round to line it up. So that goes in, and again we just need to twist it so that it fits nice and snugly like that, and then that can go on the outside, so you just have to put a little bit of pressure onto that. And then the bolt this side hasn't got anything on it, so we just line it through so it goes through all of them. It's coming out my side, a bit of a wiggle, and just twist it round so it fits nicely around the curve. So that's there, the washer on. And then again, we put this other red handle on there. Right, so they're on loose at the moment, and these can be opened and closed so we can fold the handlebars if we need to. So essentially what we need to do is we need to get them so that they will lock into position. So at the moment, that's quite easy to do. So I'm going to just give it one more turn, puts a little bit more pressure on, and I've got to really pull it, and that has locked that then against that washer. So that is nice and secure. So I'm going to repeat with this side again. That's just a little bit too easy. So usually one turn is enough, and then I've got to put a bit of pressure on to hold the handlebars nice and tight in place. So then what we need to do is put them into position. So that's that assembly done. So we need to lift these, and we can lock these into positions when we've got them up the top. So we can lift that back, and we've got 3 holes here, which basically allows us to adjust the angle and the height of the handlebar. So if you're taller, you'll probably want it in that position, but we can then lower it to suit you, to make it comfortable for mowing. So I usually go midway, and to lock that into place, we just give it a quarter of a turn and it will lock into position. So really easy, and you can alter that if you want to. And then for storage, of course, all we need to do is release these 2 red handles, probably slacken them off a little bit more, and we can fold it down. So it makes it easier for storage in a garage. 2 cable clips, so we're going to use these on this side here. So I like to pop them on like that and then clip them on, and you can then adjust them. But we need to be able to get into the back of the mower, bear that in mind. And this one here we can fasten twice. So one we can clip on there, which again keeps the cable free from this rear flap. And then here it just basically very carefully just clips into position, and that holds it there. So the cables now aren't going to flap around and catch on any shrubs or branches sticking out from the borders. So that is essentially it. We've put the handlebar together, we've got the grass collection box. So what we'll do is lift it down, get the battery off charge, and I'll show you how to start it. So the battery is now fully charged. We've got 4 lights on the back, and we can fit it into the mower. Goes into this compartment here, so we just lift the flap. This is designed for different battery combinations, either 220 volt, but we supply you with the 40 volt max plus, which goes in B there. So it's this side of it, and it simply slots in like that and clicks into position like that. So you're ready to mow. When you want to get it out, it's just a case of releasing it with the red little trigger, and out it comes like that. And just a few tips on looking after your batteries to make sure you get long life out of them and keep them as efficient as possible. Then when you finish mowing, it's good practice to take the battery out, charge it if it needs charging, and always keep it somewhere cool. Lithium-ion batteries hate to be cold, they need to be at room temperature, especially in the winter when you've finished mowing for the season and this is going to go in a cold shed or a garage. So take the battery out, charge it and keep it in the house where it's nice and warm. But let's put it back in there now so we can do some mowing. Height of cut is adjusted from this side. There's the little lever just here. So there are 7 positions, so regardless of whether you want your lawn short or longer, it's very easy. Just lifts all 4 wheels and you can adjust it as needed. Just again, another little tip: when you are mowing and starting the mower, don't have it really low. It will come in the box on the lowest setting, so lift it just a little bit, because if your grass is longer and you start the motor, not only can it strain the motor, but it will scalp that grass. So make sure it's just clear of the grass, and you can always lower it a little bit more afterwards there. When it comes to mowing, this is what we call a 3-in-1. It's got 3 different options for mowing. So traditionally, you might want to use the grass box, which will fit in a second, but it's also got what we call a mulch plug, which is fitted in the rear of the mower here. To get it out, just squeeze it and it comes out like that. We're just squeezing it to release that little catch there. So it's a piece of plastic that fills the hole where the grass would normally be blown out. Simply slides in and locks into position, and we put this back flap down. So instead of the grass being thrown out of the mower, it whirls round and round in there, chops it very finely, and the downdraft blows it down into the cover of the grass, so it disappears. You do have to mow little and often for this method to work, but what it does, it enriches the soil, it feeds the soil with the nitrogen in those clippings, and it builds up a really thick lawn after a season or 2, and it makes it more resistant to dry weather in the summer, so your grass will stay greener for longer. So don't scalp it, cut it about 25-35 millimeters tall, and it will really do a good job. If you don't want to use that method and you want to collect the grass clippings, then the other option is to put in the grass collector box. So that fits on the back. Now, for protection in transit, we've got these little plastic covers on here, so they need to be taken off. If you don't take them off, you can't attach your grass box to the back of the mower, so you don't need them. Then we lift the flap and it basically hooks onto the 2 silver springs like that, and then the flap holds it firmly in position. And you've got this little flap here, which is really good. As the air blows through and the grass clippings go into this box, that keeps flapping. When that stops, it basically tells you that the box is full of grass and you need to empty it, and then you can start again. So that's a really good thing. Third option for mowing is what we call side discharge. So this is ideal if you've got long grass. For example, if you're mowing between trees or in a little orchard and the grass has got long and you want to cut it, then side discharge works really well. So for this to work, we take off the mower grass collection box, put the mulch plug back into position, so that stops the grass trying to get out the back of the mower. We lift this flap here, and then that just simply hooks underneath like that, and when the flap goes down on the spring, it holds it in place. So we would normally mow fairly high, and then the grass is thrown out sideways. So really good if you've got long grass that you need to get under control before you mow the other way. And then obviously when you finish, just lift that, take the flap away, and mow as normal. So to start the mower is very simple. We've obviously got the charge battery in. The red controls are used to start and stop the mower. So the red button we depress, and while that's depressed, we pull back the red lever with our other hand. That starts the motor and the blades. And then when we want to go forward, because this one is self-propelled, we push the black lever in, and then we can go. To stop motion, we release the black lever. To stop the motor and the blade, we release everything. It's as simple as that. So let's give it a go. And there you have it, really easy to assemble to get it ready for mowing, and it will make a magnificent job of mowing your lawns.
Remember to register your Cobra online at cobragarden.co.uk. Always have your Cobra serviced regularly. Check the website for your nearest dealer.